Well,
Sounds good.
amazing. All right. Should we get started with some Zoom housekeeping, Frank?
Let's do it. All right. Mhm.
So by now, most of you are probably familiar with Zoom. If you're not, I've included a picture here of what your Zoom menu looks like. So you'll have a chat to the left here, and you can send us any messages, chat to other participants. And then we have raise hand in the middle. If you have something that you really, really want to say out loud, do raise your hand and we'll unmute you towards the end of the webinar. Your camera and audio are off. Don't worry about that. We can still see that you're here. And then to the right, you have the Q&A button. If you have a question that you really want answered, please put it in the Q&A because if the chat really starts popping off, it's very hard to keep up with all those chat messages. So please do put it in the Q&A. This webinar is being recorded and we will share that recording with you so you can share it with other board members and anyone else who might be interested. All right, over to you, Frank.
All right. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for attending. My name is Frank. I'm part of the sales team here at Vinteum Software. I've now been with the team for 3 years. Absolutely love it. I get to hang out with my dog all day while I'm working from my home office, which is one of my favorite things in the world. Besides that, I like to go hiking, like to go snowboarding, as Layla and I were talking a little bit earlier, like to hang out by the beach and to barbecue. Those are some of my favorite things to do outside of work. But yeah, I'll be the one walking you through a demonstration of our Neighbrs software solution today. And we are joined by Layla. Go ahead, Layla.
Thanks so much, Frank. So my name's Layla. I'm the head of customer success and marketing here at Vinteum. I've been working here for the past 5 years now. It's been a little while. I started out in customer success, moved into marketing, and now I do a little bit of both, which is really amazing. I love doing different things so that my day is never the same. I'm here today as the moderator, so any questions you have, I'll be answering those or posing them to Frank. And since Frank talked about stuff outside of work, as you may have heard from our chat before, I have a couple of dogs. Rescued one off the street about a month ago now. I also enjoy doing yoga. I read a lot. I've set another goal of 50 books, but I'm going to smash that this year. I've already read like 15 this year. Love reading. You'll always find me with my head in a book. And yeah, that's me. Do you want to talk about the company, Frank?
Yeah, absolutely. So Vinteum Software, we've been around since 2014. And since that time, we've gained over 200 clients with our Neighbrs communication software. We do also have a second software in place for inspections. So we do have 2 different software products. But today we're going to be focusing on Neighbrs. And with Neighbrs, as you can see, we've gained a lot of wonderful awards and achievements that we're really thrilled about. As you can see, we have 97% satisfaction rate among our users. We do survey our clients on an annual basis and we get amazing feedback from them. And we also do have a 98.7% client renewal rate, which is something we're really thrilled about. So when we do get a new client, it's likely that they stick around. So we are super happy about that. And Neighbrs by Vinteum provides a secure and easy to use websites and portals for HOAs and condominiums focused on improving communication and management. So we do have a ton of communication and management tools that I will be walking you through during our demo of Neighbrs. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and jump into it. So let me go ahead and share the screen. There we go. All right, so right here is going to be an example of a public-facing website that we can build out for your community. So if you're here today, it's likely that you don't already have an HOA website or you're looking to improve it. This is going to be an example of a website that we can build out for your community. What's great about our websites is they're completely template-based. We do have 6 different templates that you could choose from. And being that it's template-based, it's really easy to make any edits or adjustments to your website. You don't need a high-level knowledge of coding or WordPress to continue to maintain your websites. With this specific template, I can go ahead and have a nice big background image right here, my logo at the top left-hand side, a tagline associated with the community. And then this is an example of the different tabs you can have on the public portion of the website. But keep in mind, you could easily remove any of those tabs or rename them if you'd like. So you could sort of change this up to be a little bit more unique to your community's needs. And with this specific template, I can go ahead and scroll down and view everything on the one central page. So it's very easy to navigate. You can have your About Us section, letting folks know what makes your community unique to family members and prospective buyers. You can host an image gallery, just kind of highlighting some of the different features within the association. And scrolling down, you can have your location. This is just an interactive Google map, letting folks know exactly where the community is located. And next will be a list of community news. This is kind of like an area on the public-facing website where you can post different communication topics, but typically your everyday communication will be located within the portal, and I'll go ahead and jump into that in just a moment. And the next item here will be entitled Services, but again, you could rename any of the tabs or leave them off completely. But this is just a great place on the public-facing website where you can have a variety of subpages with different information. So whatever pertinent information you want to display on your website, you can add an unlimited amount of subpages here. So for example, your rules and regulations, leasing information. If you work with a property management company, you can have information about them, a link to their website if you'd like. And then a lot of our clients also display a self-registration as well. So this is great if in the beginning you don't have all of your residents' emails to invite to log into the system. They can go ahead and self-register for the portal through a direct link on your website. So if you're interested in learning more how that works, please reach out in a one-on-one demonstration. But going forward, just to show you, you can provide links to any third-party payment services if you'd like, links to the different types of features within your portal, kind of like how-tos or documents pertaining to those items. And then going back to the main page here, just to show you what else is available on the public-facing website will be a contact us form. Pretty straightforward, but just an easy way folks can reach out to you and the board. Maybe it's a resident that has questions or prospective buyer. You can easily reach out to you through that. Right here's a list of classifieds. So if you'd like to promote any units that are for sale or for rent, you can easily do so through here. But keep in mind, again, you could rename or change these up if you'd like. We do have some communities that will utilize this section to promote local vendors and actually charge them a certain amount to offset the cost of their software. So think about a local real estate agent, contractor, even a restaurant. You could charge a small fee on a monthly basis to go ahead and offset the cost of your software if interested. And then lastly, if you do have any outside social media sources, such as a community Facebook, you can go and provide that direct link. All this information is public. It's accessible to really anyone on the internet, right? Oh, excuse me, I accidentally clicked something. You want to make sure that the private information for the board and for residents is safe and secure. And that's going to be under Access Your Community. So that is going to take you to your own branded login portal. This is customizable in the sense you can provide your own background image right here. Your logo can be front and center. And then here's some information about our downloadable apps. We do have our iOS and Android application. So a lot of the same functionality that you'll see within the desktop version is also available within our smartphone app. Now, I did already previously log in, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to. So right here is going to be the front page of the backend portal. This is where all the different tools are located to communicate with residents and to manage the association. But keep in mind, if you're looking at any of these features and you feel like they might be irrelevant to your community, we can easily remove them from your portal. And it looks like we have a couple of questions. Oh, no, that's from you, Layla.
It's just me.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I did want to kind of show you that you can customize your portal really to only include the relevant features. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through a demo of my Riverside sample community. But just to show you, our solution can be a lot more expansive. We do have a ton of different features you can utilize. So if you're really interested in a full in-depth one-on-one demo where I can actually walk you through the full system's capabilities, please book a one-on-one demo and I'd be happy to do so. But also just to show you, if you're a small HOA, 20, 30 units, and you really don't have the need for all these different features, we do have a lot of clients that will sort of kind of simplify this, with just some of the more key features to them, such as the ability to communicate with residents, have an event calendar, document storage, that sort of thing. So you can really kind of make this portal your own with your logo at the top left-hand side. And I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of the more prominent and widely used features within my Riverside account. So as part of our 5-channel approach to communication, it starts with community news and notices. So this is a quick and efficient way you can go ahead and send out a mass communication to everyone within the community. When you do post a notice here, it can send out a mass email, text message, and a push notification to our app. So there's multiple ways your residents can receive your notifications, and they could also log in here and view these notices at any point in time. As long as you don't provide an expiration date, they'll always be visible to your residents. To go ahead and create a new notice, just click on the add button here, enter in the title for the notice, information about it. You could schedule it for a future date if you'd like, set an expiration date so it's no longer visible after a certain time period. Maybe you're having a paving project that ends next Friday as an example. You can make it so it's no longer visible in the portal after that time. You can provide a list of attachments, so any documents or photos associated with that notice. And if I don't do anything from here and just go ahead and click on post, it will send out a mass communication via email, text, and push notification to all members of the community. But you also have the ability to segment communication to very specific people if you would like. So I want to go ahead and show you first, we do have the ability to segment communication to specific buildings or streets. So if you're a condominium community that has 3, 4 buildings, we would go ahead and populate the system with the different building names or numbers. But if you're a single family home community with multiple streets, we would go ahead and populate this with all the different street names. So maybe if you're just trying to reach out to residents from one particular street or one particular building, you can easily do so. Even further, you can send your communication to specific units. Maybe if you're just trying to reach out to all of your residents pertaining to 1 or 2 units as an example, you could easily do so, even down to the specific profiles. So if you do happen to have absentee owners, you do have the ability to segment communication just to those folks. So maybe if you have owners that own the property but don't live there and they rent it out, we do have our absentee owner profile. We have a primary resident profile and an additional resident profile, which you could utilize how you see fit. But it just allows you to go ahead and segment the communication to those specific resident groups. Now, on top of that, we also have the ability to segment communication to specific custom contact groups. So I'll go into it a little bit further in just a moment, but this contact group allows you to build as many different custom groups within your community. So if you have different committees, if you have different resident groups, you can go ahead and build those out through the contact group tool and segment communication to those custom contact groups. So for example, if I wanted to send a top-down notice to all my communications committee all at once, I can easily do so, or to any other of my contact groups. All right, so that was our notices feature, just a quick and efficient way you can send out a mass communication or narrow it down to specific groups of people. All right, and then the next item here will be our social network tool. This is kind of like a community Facebook, if you want to think about it that way, just a little social network tool that helps build a sense of community within the association. This is where residents can post about maybe an item they have up for sale, as an example. Residents can like and comment on each other's posts. They can favorite certain posts that they'd like. And then as an administrator, you can easily remove anyone's posts or comments at any point in time, just in case anyone posts anything that might be a little unsavory or against your rules and regulations, that sort of thing. And then when you do delete that individual's post, you can go ahead and send them a reason as to why you deleted their post or comment. All right, and then the next item here will be our contacts feature. This essentially acts as a resident directory. This is where all of the members of the association will be visible to your residents. So any board members' information, staff, recommended vendors, as well as the other residents within the association. This is where everyone's information will be displayed for the other residents to view. But keep in mind, everyone's information when it's uploaded into the system is automatically going to be set to private. So Angelina Jolie, as you'd imagine, she's kind of a private person. She wants to go ahead and keep that information private. She can go ahead and decide to do that. but they can also go into their settings and adjust any of those individual items to public if they would like. So you don't have to worry about giving away your residents' sensitive information without their consent. All right, and then the next item here will be our community calendar. Pretty straightforward, but just a great way to go ahead and let folks know what's going on within the association, right? So you can go ahead and put your maintenance schedule. If you have any events coming up or board meetings, you can go ahead and post it directly to the calendar. And when you do add to the calendar, it will send out a notification via email and push notification directly to our iOS and Android app. And you could also segment different calendar events as well. So maybe if it's just something that is only something that makes sense for board members and management to see, you can put it on just their calendar so it wouldn't even pop up on your residents' calendar at all. So you can segment different calendar events to the different profiles and groups within the community. All right, and then the next item here will be our chat feature. Chat is pretty straightforward. It's just back and forth communication from one individual to another. Could be a resident to another resident or a resident to a board member, but it's also a great place where we can host group communication as well. So earlier I kind of touched on the ability to build out those custom contact groups. And once you do that, once you add those different contact groups here for the different committee members or resident groups, you can allow group communication between those members. So if I wanted to go ahead and send out a group chat message to all of my communications committee, as an example, go ahead and select the chat feature, select add new message. So a direct message to a specific person or a group message to a contact group that I'm a part of. Select the group message, select the group you want to reach out to, enter in the subject, the message, any attachments associated with it, and click send. This will immediately send all of my communications committee an email, as well as a push notification to our app. And then it could also log in and respond directly to that chat message as well. So you could have a whole thread of conversation between your communications committee with different topics. All right, and then the next item here will be our service request feature. So this is a great way you can go ahead and handle all the maintenance related items that residents might inquire about. As you can see here, there's a whole historical reference of everything that's ever happened within the community. Could be landscaping issues, could be in-unit issues if that's something you handle, or common area issues. But what's great about this is you can go ahead and populate this tool with the different subjects that you might deal with on a frequent basis. So, you know, if you're a single family home community, you probably wouldn't handle in-unit maintenance items. But if it's like a condominium, you can go ahead and put those in-unit issues as well as those other different subjects that you might deal with. So it could be architectural review as an example, landscaping, lighting, parking, whatever you deal with whatever you deal with in a frequent basis, you can go ahead and populate those subjects here. And then what's great about this too is each individual subject can be routed to different administrators. So for example, if you do have an architectural review committee, you can make it so that all the ARC review committee members would go ahead and receive that communication, as well as with the other subjects in this feature. So I want to go ahead and show you how a resident would generate a maintenance request, but I'm going to go ahead and have to log into my resident profile. So bear with me for just one moment. It's going to go ahead and log into my resident profile. All right, so this is going to be the back-end portal for my resident profile. You can see the address populated at the top left-hand side. If you have a resident that owns multiple units, there'd be a click down menu. They could switch between each individual unit. They can go ahead and create a service request through this feature within the desktop or also directly from our smartphone app as well. So to create a new service request, they'd go ahead and click on the add button here, enter in the subject, for example, landscaping. They go ahead and put information here about the issue. They can go ahead and snap a couple of photos and attach it to this request. So if they do have the smartphone app, they can take photos of the issue directly within the app and attach it to this maintenance request. And then once they click on send, it will send out a communication via email, text, and push notification to all of your administrators in charge of landscaping. And it will create this new code, as you can see, number 225. And then going back to my administrator view, I will go ahead back here and see that new request that was just created. The code number 225, today's date. The issue is landscaping. You could see the requester's information, their name and address, and then the status of it. You can see that it's open because it has not been dealt with yet. So you can go ahead and view that communication. You can see what information they put about the landscaping issue. If they did provide attachments, they'd be clickable right down here and it'll pull up into a preview of the photo. And you can go ahead and reply to the requester, let them know that you're looking into it, or if the issue is fixed. If you did fix the issue, you can show proof by providing additional attachments, and then go ahead and click on send message. And then once you do that, it will give you the opportunity to provide a status update. So you could put if it's in progress, maybe if you are looking into the issue, or if you need some more information from the resident to determine what is going on with that, or if you want to go ahead and close off that maintenance request because the issue has been taken care of. And every time you do provide a status update, it will send out an email, a text message, and a push notification to all parties involved. So we'll certainly keep everyone informed about what's going on with each individual maintenance issue. All right, and then the next item here will be our amenity reservation system. So if you happen to have a pool or a clubhouse or tennis courts or any other amenities that you'd like to have reservable within your system, we can certainly assist with that. So all of your different amenities will be populated here. Residents can go ahead and click on details and see information about the amenity, such as your hours of operation, general information in terms of use. They can see if there's a maximum capacity associated with it, as well as a cost. So they'll know if they do have to pay for the amenity reservation. So let me go ahead and show you as a resident how they would go ahead and book your community amenity. Again, they can do this from the desktop or from the smartphone app as well. So click on new reservation, go ahead and select a specific item that they'd like to reserve. They can see what dates and times are available to reserve. Click on the day that they would like to reserve it for. Choose the specific time slots that you have set up for. Click on reserve. And you can see that my unit will populate here. I can go ahead and let them know the reason for use. So within the clubhouse, if I'm having like a family reunion, as an example, I can go ahead and let them know that. I can also create a guest list to let them just to keep everyone informed, and then go ahead and click on confirm reservation. So as a resident, I would have to go ahead and read through the entire terms of use so I could be held accountable for any incidentals or anything like that. And then once I click accept and confirm, you will go ahead and see whether or not your reservation is approved or not. So you can make it so all of your reservations are automatically approved or pending for whatever reason. A lot of our clients will make certain items pending until payment is provided. And then after payment is provided, you can go into your amenity reservation system, click on the specific reservation and approve it. All right. And then the next item here will be our document repository. But actually, I'm still in the resident view, so let me go ahead and jump back to the administrator view. Oh, and I did skip over a couple of items, so I'll go ahead and go through those. So the next item here will be our ability to send out text messages. So this is great because you can either send out a mass text message to everyone within the community all at once, or you can go ahead and send a direct text message to maybe one or two particular residents. For example, maybe they're behind on their dues and you want to go ahead and remind them. What was great about this too is you're not sending them a text message with your own personal cell phone number, right? You're texting them on behalf of the association. This will send out a voice automated message, sort of in the form of like a Siri or Alexa style voice. So I can go ahead and select all members of the community all at once if I want to go ahead and send out that mass smart call, or I can go ahead and send to specific people. Maybe I know Sharon Hughes relies on her landline. Tool. Click on save, write my message, enter in the title of the smart call, which is just how it stores it afterward, enter in the message here, I could send a test smart call to myself just to hear how it sounds over the phone before I send it. And then when I'm ready, go ahead and select send smart call. And I do have a chat feature here from Jeff. Hi, Jeff. The question is, do we pick our own phone number for the association that they can respond to? So when it comes to our smart call feature, it is always going to come from one specific phone number. So during our onboarding process, we recommend you reaching out to residents, letting them know what the phone number is, that they can save it in their phone. So whenever they do get a call, they'll know it's directly from your association, but it's always going to be one specific phone number. So you do not get to choose. All right. Hope that answered your question, Jeff. Thank you. All right. And then the next item here will be our document repository. So this is a great way you can go ahead and centralize all of your community documents in digital fashion. The amount of subfolders that you can create. And then going back to the main page here, just to show you, you can decide very specifically who can open the different files and folders. So as you can see, this one's available as public. So meaning anyone that has a login to the portal can access that folder, but you can make certain folders private to just administrators. As an example, you can make certain ones private to specific contact groups as well. So as earlier I showed you those specific customized contact groups. You can also segment documentation to those specific contact groups. And just to quickly mention, we actually do about 90% of the initial heavy lifting for you during our onboarding process. So as part of onboarding, we will go ahead and upload up to 500 documents on your behalf. So we'll take all of your documents that are in a digital state and we'll go ahead and populate the system for you. And we could even organize them in a specific fashion that you would like as well. All right, and then to the virtual a way that they can communicate with residents digitally. So a lot of communities went to Zoom or Google Meets. So we decided to integrate with Zoom directly within Neigbrs. Although COVID is not as widely prevalent or, it's not as big of an issue as it was, we still have boards utilizing this for their meetings. You can also have a hybrid meeting option to where you have some folks join and attend your meeting in person, and then a certain amount of folks that would join you virtually through this virtual meeting tool. So if you wanted to go ahead and create a new online meeting, go ahead and select the add button here, enter in your meeting information, your agenda and description for the meeting, your meeting minutes, which are downloadable after the meeting is over. You could store them within your document storage tab. You could also generate a survey or poll directly during the meeting if you're trying to gain residents' feedback about a particular topic. You can go ahead and send out a few questions during the virtual meeting. So as opposed to having residents raise their hand one by one, providing their response, they can go ahead and answer your questions through this digital format. And then after your survey and after your meeting is all ready to go ahead and click on publish. And then at the date and time of the meeting, residents can go ahead and click on the specific link and join you for your virtual meeting, similar to how we're having this webinar today. And then after your meeting is over, you can go back and view the various results. Through here, just go ahead and click on view. You can go ahead and have access to your recording. Your recording will automatically be made available. You can also download your attendance list, meeting minutes, as well as your voting results if you did provide a vote or survey during the virtual meeting. All right, and then moving forward, the next item I have here is our vote and survey tool. So similar to how you can send out a survey during your virtual meeting, we also have a separate tool for that. So similar to like a Survey Monkey, not sure if you've used anything like that in the past, but this is an easy and efficient way to go ahead and get feedback from your residents about different preference-based topics. So to go ahead and create a new survey, just go ahead and click on the add button here, enter in the title for the survey, information about it, provide your activation date, closing date, and closing time. You can send out a notification prior to the closing of the survey just to remind residents to get their feedback in. You can have them visualize the partial results. They can see how the rest of the community is voting at that time. You can provide an open vote or not. So essentially you could decide if you want it to be an anonymous vote or not. And then you could also segment the vote and survey if necessary to specific buildings or streets within the community, to specific units, and to the different profiles within the system. And then setting up your questions is pretty simple. Just keep adding a new question. You're not limited to the amount of questions that you could ask. I tried, I got to over 100 before I got bored of it and I stopped checking. But just go ahead and type out your question here, and then your answer can be in the form of an open answer, single reply, or multiple answers. So open answer, obviously residents can just fill in their answer. Single reply, so they can go ahead and choose between different alternatives, yes, no, maybe as an example. Or you can go ahead and have multiple answers. So you can select multiple options within your surveys. And when you're all ready, go ahead and select publish, and this will send out a notification to your residents letting them know that there is a new survey that you're requesting their feedback for. And then going back to the survey tool, I can go ahead and view the results once they are in a nice graphical representation. So for this sample survey, I asked what are the preferred internet and television providers for the community. Here's a description of the survey that I sent out. And then I could see the results for each individual question within that graphical representation. You could also download these, store them in your document storage section. So very nice tool to have. All right, and then under community management and features, this is how you go ahead and toggle on and off the different features within your portal. So if you feel like any of these that I mentioned today are irrelevant, you could easily remove them from the portal. For example, service requests. Maybe you just don't handle any like maintenance related items from your residents. Just go ahead and click that off, click save and publish, and this will be removed from this left-hand side. But I do want to go ahead and walk you through all the different features. Just go ahead and mention them in case they might be of interest to you. So we do have an integration with QuickBooks Online. It's currently in the process of being completed. We do expect that to be ready in a couple of months, but the idea behind that is you will be able to see all the status of all of your invoices sent through your QuickBooks Online account, and you will be able to generate invoices directly through Neighbors as well. And then the next item here is our asset management tracking system. So you can go ahead and populate this with all the different assets that you and the board might own. Maybe it's a laptop, a painting, gym equipment as an example. You can add those items to the system and track them. We do have a package tracking system. So if there's any representatives from like a high-rise condominium, this is an efficient way for you to check in packages. Maybe if they go to like a staff member or concierge, they can go ahead and add in the package to the system, which will notify the resident via email, text, and push notification, letting them know the package is available for pickup from the front desk. We also do have an access control tool. So this acts as like a way that you can go ahead and check in guests coming onto and off the property. So if you do have like a front gate attendant or a staff member at the front desk that check in guests, that could be an efficient system for you to utilize. And then the next item here will be our incident reporting feature. So this is a responsible platform that allows residents to go ahead and report different incidences that they notice within the community. Maybe it's a suspicious person, maybe there's vandalism, or maybe they just want to complain about their neighbor who had a party until 3 a.m. as an example. They could utilize that feature. So that pretty much takes you through the bulk of the important features within our portal. I want to go ahead and show you quickly how you would go ahead and make adjustments to the public-facing website. So earlier I mentioned our websites are completely template-based. They're really easy to make any edits or adjustments to it. This is how you go ahead and do so within the portal. So under template and color, you can go ahead and search through the 6 different templates that we offer. If you want to go ahead and view a sample of each individual template, you can just click on view, and you can go ahead and scroll through and view what those different templates look like. Templates don't really change too much, just kind of change the overall look and feel. And then right here, you can go ahead and decide which color scheme you prefer. As you can see, I have that maroon color highlighted, which just kind of changes the accent color on the website. And then you could decide very specifically which sections you want to display. So if you wanted to have a little bit more of a simplified version of the public facing website, you could easily remove any of these individual sections, click those off, save and publish. And then you could decide very specifically what is available within each section as well. So for example, your homepage, maybe you want to change the slogan, you could easily do that. You could change your logo, your background image. You could change the title of each individual section really easily highlight and delete the information that is displayed. So again, you don't need a high level knowledge of coding or WordPress to make any adjustments to the website. All right, and I think we have a couple of questions here. Jeff, QuickBooks will be a two-way integration or a one-way? That is a great question. I don't have a comprehensive understanding of what the integration will completely display. Do you have any more information on that, Layla? Is it a two-way or a one-way integration?
Sorry, I'm having an audio issue. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, cool, perfect. So I messaged our PO to check that.
Okay, perfect.
I believe he's in a meeting now. So if you want to leave your email, Jeff, if he doesn't answer me, I think it's a two-way integration, but I don't want to talk rubbish. So I'm just checking with him. If you want to leave your email, I can follow up by email as well.
Perfect. And then for the check-in and the check-in and amenities item, can use that to check in residents to the pool. We don't have an attendant and we were looking at different access control providers. Could we just use Vinteum for that? I believe, yes, we could assist with checking in guests to the pool, but you would actually need an attendant to do so. So you would actually need someone to input that information into the system.
Yeah, I mean, it would depend on the way you want to do it. If the resident can say, you know, I want to use the pool at 11 a.m., then you'll see that on a calendar that they want to use the pool at 11. So it depends on the way that you're planning on doing that, I suppose. I'd recommend doing a call with Frank maybe, so you can understand a little bit better what it is.
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood the question. I thought you were looking at the like the guest tracking feature, but I would say the amenity reservation system would suit you the best in that case. They could, you know, create their reservation from our smartphone app or from the desktop, letting you know what time they're going to be on the property. So yeah, that should be helpful.
But we'll be sharing a link so that you can have another call or meeting with Frank, so that you can talk a little bit more about your specific needs, because this is just general. And obviously each community is different. They're all unique. They all have their little things. So
yes,
another meeting is great.
Well said, Lila. All right, and going back to Neighbors, I just want to kind of quickly show you a little bit more of the resident perspective. I believe I made some adjustments to the features. So let me go ahead and exit that and sign right back in so it doesn't kick me out. All right, but again, you can go ahead and as the resident see your address populated at the top left-hand side, you can easily see your recent notifications. As you can see, that pop up right here. So these are all the different notifications that I receive an email or push notification or text message for. You can easily see your direct chat messages that were sent through the system. And then on the top right-hand side, you can go ahead and access all the information associated with your account. Right here, you can easily adjust your phone number, emails. You could easily change your password, so you don't have to reach out to a board of director or manager to assist with changing your password. You could do that yourself. And then as a resident, you could also decide how you want to receive your communications in settings. So actually first, to go ahead and mention, earlier I showed you guys how to have that contacts feature, that resident directory. This is how residents would decide what information they would like to display. So if they keep each of these items unchecked, that means their information will remain private to the other residents. But if they're okay with displaying their emails, they can go ahead and do so, but keep the other information private. They can also decide if they want to receive direct chat messages from other residents. So that's automatically going to be checked off when they first sign into the system, but they can go ahead and check that on if they would like. They'd also decide how they want to receive their communications via text, email, and push notification. So it's likely that you probably don't want to get blown up with all three for each different feature in the system. So for example, your amenity reservation system, maybe a resident wants to receive texts for the reservation system, but they don't want the email and push notification. They can go ahead and decide that in this system. All right, and then I want to go ahead and show you really quick, actually under dashboard, this is a quick digestible dashboard that residents can go ahead and click and access. So they don't have to go through each individual tool. They can go ahead and see a lot of the information directly on this dashboard. So you can click and view any recent notices that were posted, any social network posts that they've either created or commented on. They can go ahead and check those out. They can see the status of their amenity reservations easily, so you can see that it is pending. They would also be able to see that if it has been approved or denied. And then they can go ahead and quickly view the event schedule. And then when they click on My Unit, this is where all the information in the portal associated with their unit will be listed. So you can see the primary residence information, their phone number and email. You can see emergency contacts for each individual person. They would be listed here in the portal. And then you can see any additional residents that live within the unit. Their information will be listed here. And then if you do track vehicle information, you could do so within our portal, as well as parking spaces and pets. So there happens to be a lost pet within the community. If they were posted in the system, it should be pretty easy to find out who it belongs to. All right, so that pretty much takes you through a bulk of our portal. Again, we do have a ton of different features and each community is very unique. So I'd love to go ahead and learn a little bit more about each one of your communities, which I can do through a personalized demonstration. So let me go ahead and go back to our presentation here. And yeah, I'll leave the floor to all of our participants. Do we have any particular questions?
We don't at the moment. So if you guys have any questions, please do send them here. If you go to the, oh great, Jeff is going to set up a one-on-one meeting. That's amazing. I sent the link in the chat, so do click on that. And you can
Excellent.
book a meeting with Frank.
Absolutely. And for anyone else, yeah, we do have our emails here. My email, frank@vinteum.io, and Layla's email right here. You could check out our website, vinteum.io, give us a call at any point in time. And if you're interested, you could check out our help center, which shows a lot of different articles, how-tos, links to our YouTube page, which shows you, Layla has a lot of videos on there showing you exactly how to utilize different features. And then we do have that QR code on the bottom right, which if you go ahead and snap with your phone, it'll take you directly to a link where you can book a time on my calendar so I can walk you through a personalized one-on-one demo.
Perfect, exactly. Then Jeff has asked who would be best compared to Vinteum, as they need 3 folks. There are RFIs. Again, it really depends on what it is you're after, because what we offer is a website and a password protected portal. I see that you're using WordPress as one, so that would be just a website, possibly with a section that you have to log into. So I'd recommend doing that meeting with Frank so he can properly understand what it is you're after and see who else you could compare us to. There are a lot of people out there in the market, so it does really depend on your community's needs.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that while you're doing your research, of course, you want to learn about the different products that are out there. But one thing to say about Vinteum is we really do have superior customer service. And I would say probably everyone would say that, but I think we really do. We actually assign all of our clients a dedicated account manager who's kind of like your and training. We do provide ongoing training and support via email, phone, Zoom, just as an ongoing, as part of our customer service. So, some of our competitors, they will charge the additional Zoom meeting, which we will never do. So you can be sure that you'll be taken care of. We like to say we do a lot of hand holding during the process of the initial build out, onboarding, and beyond. All right. It doesn't feel like we have any more questions. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we do have any more questions. So thank you all very much for attending. I really hope this was helpful. Hopefully you got something out of it. Again, I'd be more than happy to have still there. We will be sending out our recording. If not later today, then by tomorrow. Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Great day, everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Bye-bye.